A trickle of humanitarian aid is now making its way into Gaza through the Egyptian border crossing at Rafah. A third aid convoy has now crossed through the gate this morning, bringing in much needed food, water, and medicine. But the United Nations is echoing the cries of people on the ground, saying much, much more is needed. Our next guest is in Khan Younis in Gaza, and we spoke with Mansour Shouman last week. He is a Canadian who is now in Gaza. They have fled from north to south. He's there with his family. Mansour, I have to say, I'm really happy to get a hold of you. I know we had some calls last week. We wanted to make sure you and your family were safe, so I'm glad to see you. We're going to show our viewers this morning a live shot of the Gaza skyline, just to be able to see the damage and destruction there in one of the cities. How are you and your family this morning?
Together with 2.3 million other civilians, me and my family are living in very, very unsafe conditions. Last night was the heaviest bombardment of any other night since the last 17 days. Over 320 strikes across all of the Gaza Strip, which is 360 square kilometers in area. So for every 1 square kilometer, one bomb was dropped last night. There is no place safe here in Gaza. Churches have been bombed. Hospitals have been bombed. We do not know if we are going to be living over the next few hours. There is no place safe. And what's been happening to us over the last few weeks is a shame to humanity. It's a shame to humanity. It's the 21st century genocide.
Mansour, you are there in Gaza with your 5 children. We know that a small amount of aid has been, and when we say a small amount, we're talking less than 50 trucks of aid that have come into Gaza so far. Have you seen any evidence of that aid? What does it look like on the ground?
Let me give you a couple of numbers. Normally, the Gaza Strip gets at least 150 trucks across its borders in order to replenish any supplies for its 2.3 million civilians. Right now, we've been in blockade. We've been in total lockdown for the last 16 to 17 days. Nothing has been entering. In addition to displacing over 1 million people and people not being able to feed or clothe or have water or run electricity or fuel for their houses, right now we are being told that aid has come into Gaza. The aid that has come in, some of the items in this aid is gloves, coffin wraps, masks. There is no fuel. There is no real food. There is no water purification. Not only is the quality of the aid very unreasonable, but the quantity is only enough for 0.002% of the population here. So we believe it is a PR stunt from the behalf of the UN and the Security Council and whoever is running things. There is actually no aid coming in. We haven't seen it. And even if it is distributed, it's going to be enough for less than 0.002% of the population.
Mansour, what are you feeding your family? What are you doing for food and water?
My family and I have been separated for the last week. From what I've learned from them indirectly is that they haven't been having any protein over the last 3 days. They've been relying on dates. They've been relying on dry carbohydrates such as spaghetti, rice. There are some canned foods available as well, which they are utilizing. Keep in mind that there is no replenishing of these supplies. And keep in mind that they have 8 families sitting in that apartment. And that is one sample size of many hundreds of thousands throughout Gaza Strip.
Mansour, you have an opportunity to say what you think needs to be done in the region where you're at. What would you like to see done?
Let's start with a ceasefire. Let's start so that people can be able to live their lives normally a little bit. Let the children go out to play in the sun. Let those who are injured from all these bombs, over 15,000, get whatever surgeries they need outside of Gaza Strip. Open up the borders. And I know it's a record that I've been playing several times over the last few days. But where is the international community? Why was the UN formed? Why is the strong eating the weak without any repercussions?
Mansour, I'm glad that we made contact with you. I'm glad you and your family are safe. We wish you the best as this week continues, and thank you again. Please stay in touch.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.